We got a JD850K that runs off of the state network instead of a base, and that runs right through the modem, and some kind of issue where it's not connecting. Yeah, you see that? You wiggle that power cable, see that? Yeah, they damaged the power cable. Hopefully they didn't damage the actual modem. So we'll replace that power cable. Real easy to do. Just wire straight into the B cable, which means we'll have to remove the MCR3. No problem. Yeah, they're not getting any radio connection because of it. We got to power this off because we're going to have to disassemble the MCR3 out there. So take the power off. Only going to need a few tools and a new cable. As you see, this one is much better. I don't know if that one's wiggling around. We'll have to figure it out so that we can solve that issue so it doesn't happen again. A lot of the problems are pretty much based on the install. What's causing that? Is it vibrating or is this falling? Probably falling. You see the damage there? Probably falling. It's only velcroed on. So we'll have to secure that a little bit better. We'll take that MCR3 out, rewire. So what it looks like to me, basically, as this falls down, because this is secured up here like it is, it's going to stay attached and it has no place to go but damage those plugs as it falls down and yanks on it. So the better thing to do is just cut these off and leave it loose, so when it does fall, it hits and it's not going to jerk that off. That makes sense, right? Yeah. Right. Looks fine on this side, which typically usually is. Even though these are all banged up, they're still probably still good because there's a pretty solid wire that goes in there. So yeah, just remove the B cable from the MCR3, and you got orange, white orange, green, and white green. Those four right there are for your data. And this first one here, 37 I believe, is power. 38 is your ground. So we will knock those out of there, and we need an extractor tool. So, and then we'll have to just cut these and repin them. These little extractors, they just basically go right down into the slot and releases a pin, and all you do is pull up on the wire and they come. Put a couple new Deutsch connectors on, crimp them down, put them where they belong, and you're good to go. Put your B cable back in, connect it, data cable and power cable. Make sure that power cable is not all wonky in there. Restart the system, see if it connects. Go back and check that cable, make sure it's not going to intermittently turn on and off. And as soon as we power up, it should go green. If it's got a good connection. If there's nothing else wrong. If. Alright, let's see. It's gonna work for us. Oh, that's kind of in a weird position for the operator. Way down there. Huh. I probably would have put it up here. Come on, you can do it. It's just the antenna's GPS is just trying to figure out where it's at again in relationship to the planet. No X over radio antenna, so that's good. Should kick in gear anytime now. I didn't disconnect any GPS cables, so there we go. Okay, my goodness. Boy, that one took a while. Waiting for radio link. X over radio again. Outdated firmware. Let's just give it a boost. Outdated firmware. Let's check their radio config. Network. They're on North Carolina network. They're still not. Alright, there we go. There we go. What I'm looking at here is distance to base. There's no base, so I mean you're gonna see a big number like that because it is the network. Obviously we still have an issue. Let's go look. Might have a bad data cable too. Yeah, see there's no green light on that data. No data chirping at all. Matter of fact, there's no power either. Let me check this out. Alright, we got power lights now. Well, basically I had, because they're both black, one has a little bit of white on it, but it's hard to tell. So basically, I just had the wires backwards in there, positive and negative. So we're firing up now. Most of the time they're red and black wires, but for some reason those power cables are just all black. I figured that would happen. Well, I'll let you know when this comes up. It's going to take a minute for GPS again. And it's really slow because it has the outdated firmware on it. You really need to update that firmware. We're connected. And all I have to do is initialize the blade. That's it. So, alright, that's the issue. It was just a power cable. It wasn't the data cable either. So now, so there's our little green light for data. We need that. We need all these lights up here. That's good. And just wiggle, 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 wiggle. Power staying on. So that's good. Now just mount that so it doesn't cause that power cable to rip out again. I'm just going to leave it loose. That way if it does fall, it's not going to yank on it. So that would have been the wise thing to do in the beginning. Some cables you need to leave loose. You don't need to dress them up real pretty like that. So, alright, let's put it back together. Yeah, they probably just should have just tapped a couple screws in it. They could have just brought it down here and they could have just wrapped zip ties around and put it right to that rubber. Being way up there like that, it's the gravity is just going to take it down. But anyway, you want these so that when it does fall down, it's not going to yank out that cord. So it's okay to zip tie these together, but leave it loose. It doesn't need to be all wound up and coiled up. And if it's up here and it's coiled up and it's tight right here, it's gonna fall, dangle, hang, and as the vehicle vibrates and jerks, as a dozer does, it's just gonna strip the crap out of that. So yeah, we'll help them out. Okay, there we go. It's not a matter of if that will fall. It's a matter of when it falls, and when it falls you want to eliminate the damage as much as possible. So now, you know, the cable is down here. It's just, the whole thing is just going to land down here, and it's still going to work. It's not yanking on the cable. It's not going to pull on anything. It'll be down here, and it'll be fine. So you got to think of those little things when you're doing installs. Yep. So this is John Deere 850, and it is complete, ready to go back to work.